Hey you folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to Let's Play Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth Rising Tide. This is a pre-release preview of Rising Tide, and I am super excited to be bringing this to you guys. The expansion to Beyond Earth has changed a remarkable amount of things. Even things as small as adding images and things to a variety of pop-ups to make the world feel a little bit richer, but also a pretty dramatically modified game experience by tweaking some of the very basic things that are at the core of Beyond Earth, such as affinities, for example. So without further ado, we are going to jump right in. We have very few tiles to choose from for our landing spot, because I think you can't settle a city in the ocean, at least not currently, not without extra technology. So these tiles are not allowed. Let's show the resource icons over here. I think, now we have to remember with our placement of aquatic cities, borders do not grow for aquatic cities. Instead, you can move the city. So I think the thing to do will be to land here, so then we can move the city down this way and get some extra tiles. And perhaps later when we can move into the ocean down here and we'll get this, this algae. So we'll start with a lot of shells. Shells do not give us much in the way of food, unfortunately, but they do give us extra production, which is good. And we do have the tubers on land, and that's going to be really helpful. So yes, I will land here because we will clearly be moving that direction. We get the pop-ups about so many resource pods haven't been discovered because we do have the coastal mapping stuff. Look at that. You can see so much of the world, including some diggable spots over here, sunken spacecrafts, which is nice. There is an ability to reveal just alien nests, although we don't see any quite yet. No, there's a pair of them over here. Of course, they will spawn more over time. It's also nice to be able to just filter the expedition sites over here. In particular, these ancient alien remains. There is somewhere on the map a big giant version of that, and as soon as anyone in the game discovers them, it will start a super quest, a major mission to find these sites. There are enough on the planet there. We have to visit 3 of them, and sort of, not really an expedition. We have to go visit 3 of them and then click a button, basically. But the problem is each one can only be used once ever by anyone. So if we don't hurry, we might have a hard time finding the 3 that we need to complete the quest. But we will get to that when we get to that. So I can put the resource icons back on. That's going to be fine. We do, of course, start with that worker. I think what we're going to do is go right up onto the land and hook up the tubers, because the tubers will give us extra food, and that's very important early on in our city. And then we've got our explorer. I'm tempted to send my explorer directly over to this expedition site. It seems like the thing to do. It did reveal a bunch of resource pods, but I don't know if there's any nearby. So that's not very close. That's not very close. Nor is that. I mean, it would be nice to start by picking up resource pods. That's... Sorry, where was that? Oh, right there. Yeah, we don't actually get a pop-up for that. That's not bad. This doesn't do anything for us yet. Do we prioritize the resource pods or the expeditions? You know what? I'm going to prioritize getting over to this sunken spacecraft. Or maybe this resource pod. And that's what I was hoping. That along the way, we would see... more resource pods. And oh, select project, right, because of course I start with a spy. So we do get science every time we successfully complete a mission. So I'm going to take the increased chance of operation success for each agent in the headquarters. Usually I don't leave any agents in the headquarters anyway, but just in case we do have that. And actually right now we've got nothing to do. We've got to meet some targets first. I'm not going to have a defensive spy. That would be foolish. So we're going to do that. I suppose with that in mind is I could change the national project to something else. That's wonder production. I don't care about that. I don't care about city strength. And health, an extra 2% health wouldn't do anything for us right now. No, this is a fine project. Let's stick with that, and that'll be okay, and we'll beat some people soon. What are we going to build first? Well, I think that another explorer right away is actually the thing to do. Note, we can also move the city. You can see here, 7 turns. Moving a city takes a certain amount of production. As a city gets bigger and more developed, it needs more production to do it. On the other hand, as a city gets bigger and more developed, you will generally be producing more production. So the move city cost stays relatively same-ish, depending on exactly how you balance out your city growth. Plus, there's some buildings and wonders and things like that that can minimize city movement time. But we'll have to do that. Again, our borders will never grow as an aquatic city. Ever, ever. It doesn't matter. See, we've got culture, but you see no indication as to border growth. Actually, it says it right here. No cultural growth at all. So we will have to move the city, but I think building a couple of things first is better. We don't need to rush to expand our borders to cover the eggs quite yet. So, technology. It's an interesting question as to what we might want to start off with. The planetary survey is interesting because then trade units can go through both land and sea. And this will allow our aquatic cities to move on to ocean tiles. We will want that at some point. Most likely we'll want to start with pioneering. It does unlock the trade depot, which is always good because it does give you that extra production, but it also gives us more diplomatic capital, and we are going to want some of that for sure. Probably I'll start with this, and then usually my standard is to go through engineering and chemistry to reveal the titanium and the petroleum. Usually chemistry first, actually, because it does unlock the laboratories and the recyclers, which are pretty good. In fact, I'll go ahead and just hold shift, click there, cue that up right away. If you are new to Rising Tide and you haven't followed the news, notice that, first of all, none of the technologies have the symbols anymore for an affinity. Instead, the technologies do have these colored rings, and these indicate that they will give you XP towards a certain affinity. And you'll notice that even branch technologies will give you affinity towards or give you XP towards affinities now, not just leafs, although the leafs do seem to give you a lot more, right? 20 for ballistics versus the 7 for physics, right? Same sort of thing here. But you will tend to pick up points in a few different affinities just as you go along. And that's punished a lot less, or it's less useless than it used to be, because now there's all these hybrid things. Like even if you were going for a pure, what direction is this one? Is that purity? Yes. If you're going full purity, yeah, that's a symbol. You'll still end up getting a little bit of harmony and supremacy along the way, but it can unlock some cool stuff. Like here, you get extra culture for every level of harmony or purity that you happen to get. Over here, unhealth from number of cities reduced by 25%, just by grabbing a little bit of incidental harmony along the way. So, you'll get some for free just because of quests and also because of the branch technologies. That's not where I want it to be. I want it to be over here. But it's also very tempting, even say if we're going for a full purity run, to grab, say, something like alien life forms for some more harmony stuff. And then you get your alien preserve, which is pretty good. Although note, it can only be built in land cities. So some of that stuff's you gotta pay attention to it. But I don't know, I'm really, really, really quite happy about that sort of balance change. It makes it, I think in the base game, you really were incentivized too much to beeline. I don't want to stop on the miasma. And they're all the same distance. So let's go there and then we can land. Ooh. Neat crater here. Well, it's considered a mountain, but it looks pretty cratery to me. Let's go and build a plantation over here for +2 food. What tile are we working? Yeah, I guess that's fine. I mean, all of them just give me 1 food, maybe 1 production, and at least this way we get a bit more culture. Aquatic cities do tend to grow a little slower. They tend to be far less defended as well. So all things to consider. 40 energy. That's probably the one I'd be least excited about. I would have liked a little bit more production or culture or science. Although, we'll be able to buy something at some point. This is on quick speed, so I think things are cheaper as well. Or they definitely will be. All right, so we pop that goody hut. What do we have here? An alien ripper. Well, he shouldn't come into my borders. Oh, and we have a raptor bug over here. Oh, because we have a nest right there. You know what? I'm tempted to go and pop that nest right away. Since I can't just buy that tile or anything, so it's not going to be within our borders. Yeah, I wanna pop this nest. So I'm gonna bring my explorer back. We should be able to do that. I'm not gonna start bombarding anything. No, I guess I have to bombard first. I don't want them to kill my worker though. No, I'll wait for now. We might lose the explorer after popping the nest. Oh my god, no, this is gonna work. There's too much stuff. Okay, we'll just have to live with the aliens there for now until we can get some soldiers. Come back down to the sunken spacecraft. Sorry for the confusion, Mr. Explorer. That is a very nearby nest. A source of fraxite. So I don't know what affinity we'll end up going for. There's some xenomass there, some fraxite there. Neither one of it is a particularly big cluster. Got a little bit of floatstone there. So we have a little bit of everything, but nothing too tempting. 8 xenomass down here is very nice. There's some eggs. We'll have to explore down there and see if it's worth putting a city there at all. Do remember, we could do something like put a city here, and then just move up this way. When you move a city, any tile the city moves onto, anything that's there gets destroyed, but not the actual resource, as far as I can tell in my testing. We should be able to, if we built a bed here, and then we move the city on top, the bed would get destroyed, but the eggs should stay, and then we move off again, then we would work it. So we could put a city here, move here, and then here, maybe grabbing some stuff along the way. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm going to go down the prosperity tree. Still a big fan of it. Notice the background here. They added a little bit of that. Still really very much like prosperity. In fact, I think we'll go for the early colony initiative here and try to pop out a few extra cities early on. We'll see how it goes. You have finished your plantation. Lovely. That tile is being worked. Excellent. I really don't want to prioritize the generators. I mean, energy is good. Don't get me wrong. I think we'll move down here, but I think we'll end up building a farm for some extra food rather than extra money. Farm will still give us +1 food. Oh, actually, I'm going to be moving the city down this way, so I don't want an improvement here at all. Not until later. So yes, we'll go and build a farm there, and that'll be fine. In fact, as soon as we pop out this Explorer, I think we might go ahead and move the city. One interesting thing you can do with the right wonders and buildings, you can actually end up with a city that can move extremely quickly, and then you can pair that off with a bunch of defensive structures to give the city huge amount of combat strength, and people can actually use these cities as relatively slow-moving battleships, which is pretty freaking amazing to think about. You know, move your cities towards the front lines and use them offensively. That's great. Now, aliens are very unlikely to attack explorers, even if you end up near an alien nest. In fact, an explorer can walk on top of an alien nest and only destroys it if you explicitly hit a button to do it. Quest decision! News from the capital. Activists calling themselves a private militia have made citizens arrest the criminal in question, a professional biologist by the name of Pierre Petrillo. To the activist, a rogue researcher tampering with a dangerous foreign substance. His story, a simple scientist experimenting with miasma in the privacy of his own residence. Petrillo claims he was learning more about the substance in an attempt to negate its harmful effects for colonists in the field. The militia's stated goal, however, is to prevent activity which could endanger citizens on the new colony. They claim the scientist was using his own body for experimentation. The group destroyed all volatile materials as part of their arrest and has brought the scientist to the door's local prison. We can apprehend the scientist or free the scientist. This continues towards harmony. These continue towards purity and supremacy options. We really don't know where we're going to end up. There's more floatstone over here, and that's a much bigger chunk, I believe. I guess I can close this for now and look. So yes, we have the 8 xenomass over here. We do have a combined 8 floatstone over here in quite a good spot. In fact, that would be an excellent actual land city right here. Or even here. 1, 2, 3. Actually, here would be even stronger. And yeah, I think that'll be better. So I think we're going to end up drifting towards purity. Again, we're not, locking in at this point, but we'll apprehend the scientist and then see what he has to do. I mean, he's trying to turn himself into a mutant. It's a little bit weird. Gosh, there's a lot of aliens around. Big Macara over here. Well, you know what? It's probably a good thing I didn't just go and pop that nest because there's so many aliens around that they'd be problems. On the other hand, it would be nice to actually prevent the aliens from getting worse. We'll build a bed over here, get some bonus production. Food is going to be a bit of an issue, but we'll see how it goes. Homesteading, because we want to get the colony initiative as quickly as possible. And yeah, I will definitely move the city next. Well,
the universe is either in progress or in entropy. We choose progress.
Okay, that trade depot will be very nice. No one's landed yet, right? Now, one interesting thing is, even if they land, we no longer get instantaneous diplomatic contact with them. Yeah, I want to move the city. So we're going to move to here. And part of the reason for it is also to expand our borders and to give us a little bit more room against the aliens. Because the aliens are unlikely to enter our borders. So we're going to dig that up. This Explorer, I could go and pop that, couldn't I? But I think what I'm going to do is simply run to here. Being adjacent to the nest should be safe. Although, am I going to be able to walk through there? Oh my god, that's a lot of aliens. There we go. We're fine. Everything is fine. Nothing to worry about here. You move there and build me another bed. Got our third population. Yes, we'll get extra production. Oh. This tile got pillaged? Really? Really? Jerk-ass aliens. Why would you do that to me? Eh, there we go. First landing. Relatively far away. Opposite side of the world from us, basically. But we have not yet actually met them. It's important to note that. I would rather go south, actually. Got some fish we can do here. Yeah, you're entering my territory, and are you seriously blowing up my stuff? Alright, you've left, which is good. They're less likely to enter my borders, but not, they don't avoid it completely. So we finished that improvement, so we're going to go and repair this farm. Meanwhile, you keep moving in this general direction. So this is coral. Hydrocoral, that doesn't move. It does expand. The big one will grow little smaller ones, and eventually, if left unchecked, it will spread throughout this entire area. Ah! Crash satellite. Just gives us tech on genetic design, so that's a late game technology that would help, but I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more short term. Still, a thing's a thing. So I could send you back to get a new expedition module. There's a goodie hut right here. Maybe I'll prioritize actually picking that up. Oh, and another one. Excellent, yeah. That's going to be worthwhile. We'll pick up a couple of easy ones of those. That'll be fine. There's an alien nest in this floatstone here. I like the look of the alien nest. Actually, I like the look of all the resources in the sea. It's quite cool. You can see we finished our move over here. We could do another one. I mean, we're delaying some of these other buildings. I think we've got enough for now, but I'm definitely going to be moving south, and then, well, then I'm not sure after that, but at least this far. So I think it might be time for our old Earth relic to get more culture going. Happiness is still good. Yeah, let's get that, because then that'll bring us closer to our free colonist. So we completed a quest for Gifts from Home, giving us 20 free science, and our actual pod reward is simply more energy. Oh, and we found an artifact, a personal meditation helmet. It is battered quality. So I could cash this in now for an instant 6 production and 24 culture, or I could save it for a combo. I'm going to save it at least long enough to get another artifact. If they happen to be 2 matching ones, then I'll probably wait for the combo. If they're 2 non-matching ones, then I'll probably just start cashing things in. You have your expedition module and can go there, which is good. Oh, so we did get a solar collector as well. And I think it is worth launching. Now, you want to make sure it covers the city, because it will give your city a percentage energy bonus. And then you want to put it on tiles that you're going to be working, which I would say would be all these tiles over here. So we'll do that. So we're going to get a bunch of extra energy. In fact, we're making 10 per turn, which is really nice. And since I'm not going to be moving in this area, right, I think I'm just going to move down here and then stop. Buying these tiles makes a lot of sense. And in particular, I am going to go and buy that alien nest. And we'll see if that will actually improve things. I could save up money. I may as well just buy this tile for now. That's going to be fine. That's going to be okay. We can't do anything with it yet, so we'll avoid blowing up the aliens for now. At some point, we will purge this entire area, because screw the aliens. But for now, we're okay. After we finish the chemistry, which will unlock a couple of cool buildings, revealing petroleum, which isn't as important as revealing the titanium early on, we're going to go to ecology, I think. We're going to need an early ultrasonic fence. I don't usually like to rush that. In fact, I usually like to farm a lab first. But an early ultrasonic fence will help push the aliens away. It will discourage them from approaching or remaining within 2 tiles. This is no longer a hard limit. It just puts a big modifier on the likelihood that aliens will move into a certain tile, but it will still be useful for us. And then it will start taking progress towards the quest that will make our trade units immune to aliens, which is obviously very, very, very important. So I'm going to queue that up. Another virtue, good. We're going to take homesteading. Doesn't help. Oh, we've already got homesteading. So I will take the colony initiative. Ooh. I'm actually worried that the aliens would go and blow up my colonist right now. We may have to wait for that a little bit. So I think I might take helping hands, because we are going to go down this tree regardless. I'm going to ignore the free worker. We're going to go down here. I guess I could take a tick of knowledge, since I do want that at some point anyway. It's always nice. I mean, we will become unhealthy at some point, but it will still help some of the time. And I will want the synergy bonus for all the virtues, or for having 6 virtues on the baseline. Although I could skip and rush down here and ignore that level 1 bonus. Ignoring the free worker. Because I can do this, then here, and then just rush down for the extra happiness over here. I'm going to take a level of foresight. I'm going to do it, and then we'll count on taking the first tier synergy bonus. Alright, worker, you are done. We're not going to improve that tile because we're going to be walking into it at some point, but you have improved that, which is really good. I think we'll go ahead and improve... Well, no. We want the eggs. There's a lot of food on the egg tiles, which is good. You don't have an exploration module. Oh, but you're going to go and get that goodie hut. Please and thank you. Artifacts, gifts from home, right. Everything on that turn. You are going to dig up this spot. What is this? It is a sunken vessel. Excellent. And crash satellite there, although we won't have the expeditions. More floatstone. Yeah, we're going to go purity. That is going to be quite good. Look at the vents. They actually give you science when improved, which is really good. So we're going to do this. Give us extra cultures. You get +1 culture from the egg slot, but what's important about the eggs is they do actually have 2 food, 1 production as a base. So they're really, really valuable tiles. You're actually sitting on my other egg tile, which makes me unhappy. We're working a decent amount of food. We're actually growing at a pretty good pace here. Good energy on this tile here. especially with the solar collector. Speaking of energy, we've got a little bit more of it. And we've got another landing. This one's a little closer. Not so close as to be a problem, but it's there. Chemistry is done. Oh, I shouldn't have cut that off. Who is it? We don't even know. Unmet player. See? It's different. I like it. Okay, so we dug that up. I don't see another goody hut immediately. So I am going to send you home. Potentially even to escort my settler, for example. So I will send you home in this general direction with the plan to get an expedition module, if nothing else. But you might be able to guide our settler. Marvel discovery! Marvel have been discovered. That's no mountain. A nearby colony has discovered the remains of an enormous creature on the planet's surface. Most of the remains are underground. Otherwise, they most likely would have been noticed by our orbital operations. Carbon dating has determined that remains are thousands of years old. A being of this size shouldn't even exist, let alone survive intact for millennia. Clearly, we still have much to learn about this planet's ecosystem. We should be on the lookout for more ancient alien remains. We have to biopsy alien remains. There is one over here. I don't think we've discovered any others yet. But we're going to have to dig up. So the quest is to do one, but then it'll immediately be followed by a next step to do two more. Oh, this would be the monstrous alien remains that someone just discovered over here. And in fact, this one might get explored before I get there, which would be unfortunate. So we'll have to find some more. There is enough that every single person on the planet can complete it. But if you don't get it soon, it can be hard to find all the ones that you want. I still want to move the city, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer. In fact, I'm tempted to just build a colonist. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build maybe a patrol boat. The gunboat is better. It can clear the hydrocoral good, but the gunboat or the patrol boat will provide better cover for my settlers. So we're going to do that. Ooh, Old Earth Relic. We're going to take the +1 culture. Absolutely. Always the outcome that I want. Can't move in here to improve that tile yet. I don't want to improve that because I'm going to be moving on to it. So I guess I will go... Oh, actually here would be good. It's covered by the satellite and everything. And I can still do the basalt. Crash satellite gives us 80 production. Very nice. Finish that boat instantly. In fact, I think... Ooh, the overflow. I will actually build a colonist. Plus, I'm soon going to get one for free. So we're going to have a lot of colonialism going on. Do want to dig that up, but I have to come home for an expedition module. So let's go that way. Actually, on your way there, why don't you go and pop a little bit of this area? Because we might, in fact... And this patrol boat as well. Because we might actually want to see if we may want to colonize in this area over here. Vents, a little bit more xenomass. I still think we're going to mostly focus on the floatstone since there seems to be a lot of it. Plus, we're also looking for another alien remains. Okay, landing up there. Good spot. All those eggs. That is a great spot. Quest update. Oh, what do we want to charter? Culture is good, but I think if we're going to do a trade route, we'd want a little bit of food for it too. So we're going to go Golden Bell. And is that going to block where I want to be? Because I want to be there. I can't remember. I think the range from a station is different from a range from a city. I might be misremembering, though. Oof. I hope we can settle right there. I mean, if we have to settle here, actually, this would be fine, too. It's not the end of the world. You know what we could do? Is settle here and make a canal city. Less of a good spot in terms of original production. But canal cities mean your boats can go through them. And that's pretty good. That is really good. Now, let's move you up over there. And you will come... Can you not... Really? You couldn't reach over there? Alright. Well, you're still currently safe. Choose production. So that's the one we built. We're still waiting for the one we can get for free. I'm going to build yet another patrol boat because there's a lot of aliens and I just want to babysit. We're going to go ahead and grab a free one right now. So we're going to expand very, very, very quickly. Explorer unit, you're going to scooch down this way. Ooh. What I could do is settle here and just move continuously west. Because the algae is a good tile to work early. We're going to want this tile to be owned by my capital at some point. I like that. It's not too close, is it? Hopefully not, and hopefully no one's going to attack me there. Is that more floatstone? Really? 6 at that. Wonderful. And still no one has landed too close to me. I'm really liking this so far, assuming I don't get eaten. My colonist ships don't get eaten. Yeah, we can't dig that up yet, buddy. Don't get too excited. No, that's too close. Well, fair enough. There might be some decent land down there, too. These eggs have all the extra food. We can go here, then up through there. Actually, I like that. Again, hopefully there's not actually an alien sitting there. No, we're fine for now, which is good. Move up this way, and you just sit on top of my settler. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap up this part here. I can't remember if they, 'cause I think there was a patch. It might have just been related to the spawning of these stations, but and I know they did change the distance that these stations can spawn based on other things, but I think they changed the colony distance. This would be nice, although again, I mean, it's not that bad to go around, but that is a pretty substantial shortcut. If we settle there and run our ships through there, that might be pretty good. Of course, we could just go with aquatic cities as well. There's nothing stopping us from doing that, right? But you know what? I like this. There's not that many super strong tiles. In fact, these are tundra down here, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, food production is going to be very poor starting off. But we'll build a bunch of farms, I suppose, and hopefully it'll be okay. Next, so 6 turns, I'll probably grab the free worker as well. And that will actually, unless I am wrong... Well, the worker plus the workforce initiative will give us the synergy bonus, which is fine, right? So we want helping hands to keep going down here, rather, right? Helping hands and then continue down this way. Because I'm going to skip Pathfinders because I don't particularly care about it. But if we're going to get helping hands, then we'll be at 5 of 6. So we may as well grab this because it'll instantly give us another free one. We'll pick up Gift Economy almost certainly. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And as usual, it's the first episode of a new series. Really appreciating likes and favorites and comments and all that. Share this. More attention the first video in a series can get, the much better it is for the channel. Really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.